Good morning. This is Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. and it replays at 7 a.m. Friday and 2 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. And many of you listening to it on KSLO like you have for the past, working on the 36th year of the Bobby Dupre Show on KSLO 1230 a.m. on your dial. And of course, the sister company, 105.3, Simpsport, Louisiana. And I guess the fastest growing audience is the internet. Mm-hmm. And that's worldwide. And my sidekick here, Mr. Andrew, I want to get you a full day's pay today.
I'm not worldwide, but I pass as much places as I can.
Yeah, that's right. And we try to visit a lot of different events. And we like to show you some of the places we've been, and we take pictures. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of pictures this week, and most of them we'll try to show them briefly, and they are all viewable on the photo gallery of the Bobby Dupre Show. So what did I miss? They covered everything pretty well?
Covered it all, radio and television.
And of course, we want to thank our sponsors for helping make all of this possible. And let's get right into it. Last week, I spoke about the little technique I learned when I was in the Army in Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. And Mama and my mama and Ramp's mama, Miss Mabel Spira, came up to meet us. And of course, they brought our girlfriends. Back then, the girlfriends had to be with the mamas, you know. That changed a little bit today, but we're not getting into all of that.
They can drive themselves now.
And she showed me how to get that last little bit out of that tube of toothpaste. And I've continually used this method since. And of course, it's a good way to start the day off by trying to save money and being efficient at the same time. Now, I do recommend, and I recommended this to Dr. Butch Lazaro years ago. He was complaining that he didn't like the taste of his coffee. I said, well, do you brush your teeth first? Well, yeah, I brush my teeth when I get up. I said, well, wait just a few minutes, drink your coffee, then go brush your teeth, and the coffee will taste good. Next morning, I get a phone call. Bobby, you were right. Coffee tastes good. So this is one method. Now, of course, those of you that don't like the rubbing and all that, they sell these little bitty contraptions. And these contraptions work very, very well. You put the end of the tube in, and you just turn it like this.
And it squeezes it
and
as it goes?
Squeezes it as it goes. And all of a sudden, you're saving money. So either way you want to go is fine with me.
And that one looks like it didn't even cost you. It looks like a promotional thing.
It's a promotional. We're not going to say what's on this one, because, and it's not nasty. It says Louisiana Poison Control Center. I don't know where that is. It must be something to do with the state.
Right.
And
whenever you have a problem, if you think somebody's had poison, you call that 800 number. They'll tell you what to do.
So I want to leave that around the house.
Very important.
Well, okay, good. So anyhow, that's our little lesson today. I had promised y'all last week.
How to save enough money to follow with Bobby Dupre.
That's correct. That's how it all got started. Thank you, Miss Mabel. Appreciate that. And the next thing is I'm going to talk about the Ross Hebert fundraiser that's taking place over at Cornelius Dupre Park on the Lewisburg Highway. And that's going to be Saturday and Sunday. And I was at Indian Hills Country Club yesterday having a salad, and I overheard Jamie Ballera, who's the bookkeeper for Indian Hills Country Club. And she was talking to some of her friends, and they were putting in orders for different items, the beer and the ice and all those things that it's going to take a lot of, hopefully. And I said, how's the enrollment of the team? She said, you wouldn't believe it. We already have 15 teams paid up. So it's going to be
between Ross's dad, Ray, and the boys played ball, but his dad coached ball. I mean, they were always involved.
Right. I first got this information from Clay Orman. And of course the Orman family and the Hebert family very, very close. Ray and these guys were always good friends. And then Ross and Clay might have worked together doing some roofing and carpentry work. I think that's where Ross picked up his knowledge of this.
Our friend Sol, I think, is related maybe to Ray and all those guys.
Very related.
Yeah, so that's all roofing guys and all connected.
All connected. And then, of course, we certainly encourage you to go by, and even if you just go by for a few minutes and make a donation. The money is really, really needed. It's very expensive for the family to survive during this period where Ross can't work. The wife is working. Another new baby, by the way. The baby has been born that we spoke about recently, and mama and the baby are doing fine. Another little boy, by the way. Right. And of course, Ethan will be 15 in July, a couple of months from now, and that's gets to be more expensive because he'll be having to attend a lot of functions, and he's a good athlete, good baseball player, so he'll be going to clinics and needs to attend all of these things, and it's going to cost a lot of money. And I talked with Ross's mama, Chris, and she's in giving a hand, and the therapy has begun in Lafayette. I think it's Lourdes Hospital, and hopefully with therapy and our prayers, and please don't forget the Hebert family in your prayers. Very, very necessary. And if you get a chance, please go by and make that donation. One person that won't be there, and certainly would have been there, is Stacy Orman. I learned on Tuesday morning, I think it was Pierre Mistro called me to advise me that Stacy was found dead in his sleep. They noticed that he was not at the workout session. He usually goes before, you say.
Well, I think he was working in New Orleans with a group of guys, and I think that they would go work out before they would go to work in the morning when everybody, I guess, is standing all in the same room. They're down in New Orleans working for Merit Construction down there.
Out of Cottonport, Louisiana.
And they were down there working. I think when they got up in the morning, they were going to do a little workout before they went to work. They couldn't wake him, and that's when they found out he had died in his sleep.
What a loss to the community. The smile in here, he always had that smile. It was just there. His personality was evident when you met him and you saw the beautiful smile. And of course, it's got to be tough on the mama, Miss Bonita. Mr. Earl died recently, in recent months. In December. And of course, had lost another brother, Larry Luke Orman, some years ago.
I think on a boating accident.
Drowning accident. And of course, he leaves behind daughters Celeste, Stelly, and her husband Justin, and Mallory Orman, and Heidi Locke. Right. And a special companion, of course, is a person that we know well, Annette Briscoe. Her sister Beth has worked here since we opened the TV station. Of course, now she's working in the Karen Crow office, but I mean, still the same company. And and of course, also Randy Orman, Dale, Kelly, Clay, Mallory, Malachi.
We'll get it out.
We'll get it out. And then the one I was talking about when I started was Clay Orman, a large family. Miss Bonita, our very deepest of sympathies, and as well as all the rest of the family.
There's one other benefit going on right now that I almost missed. I got a note right here. I don't know if you know any of the triplets, Megan, Macy, and Morgan Briley. I think they're in the 10th grade over at Opelousas Catholic. One of the triplets, Megan, has had some problems. She's noticed some problems and is at St. Jude's, if I understand correctly, had some surgery done. They think she's got maybe, they're not sure if it's a tumor or what exactly is going on, but they've removed it and doing some tests. But if you want to help the family, that's the the daughter of David and Angie Briley over here. You know, David's got the Briley Exterminating over on, I guess, 357. But if you want to send a donation, you can make a check to the Megan Briley Benefit Account and send it, I guess, to OC. Right now, OC is doing some things with some T-shirts and some fundraising to help. If you want to give a donation, it'd be a good thing. Maybe give the school a call and they can get the money in the right hands.
Do we have the picture of Charles Shotland's?
I got a picture of everything. I got a picture of a turkey too.
Yep, we'll get that in a little while.
Where you want me to go? Down to the...
That would be one of the last pictures, I think, sent to us by Miss Vicky.
I have 100, so it's going to take a while to dig them out.
We have about 100 pictures, so we have to kind of...
sec to dig it up. I got this right here. Here you go. I got the road.
Yep, and what does the road say?
It says Ridge Ranch Road.
Okay, and then you're going to see the gate.
Delta Ridge Ranch.
Delta Ridge Ranch. So when you're going to see Delta in Acadiana, could be connected to Charles Shotland.
With Delta Media.
With Delta Media, the owners of this station now. And 2 Saturdays ago, I attended the church, Catholic church in Carencro, and right after Mass, and I was supposed to bring this up, I met Eddie Blanchett and Charles Shotland, 2 of the owners of Delta Media. And of course, Charles had his wife with him, Miss Jessica, and very nice people, and we are invited to the next hunting season to a supper there.
All right, I'm good at the suppers.
I just wanted you to see what you're going to be entering right here when we go there.
I'll get my fork ready.
Okay, good. And then of course, Father Mark Ledoux is the priest there. We talked about that part, and we showed a couple of pictures and all, but I forgot that.
Benny's Supermarket, your grocery needs here in town, right in the center of Opelousas on South Union. Benny's got everything from great meats, already seasoned, ready to go for you. Seafood there as well for you to cook. A deli open 7 days a week. Some of the best produce. 80-plus beers in their imported beer section. They've got all the wines with the lowest price the law will allow. They got Miss Mary's Gift Shop, and they got Little Benny's nutritional supplements over in that area. And I ran into somebody this week that was drinking a smoothie in the morning. A friend of mine got diagnosed with diabetes, and he's got to keep his blood sugar level. So he's having one of those smoothies to keep even because it's low in sugar and good for you.
Well, good.
KSLO, we'll see you on the other side of 3.
Last Wednesday, after we taped the program, we went over and visited Delta Media. And one of the first people that we met there was Chuck Wood. And Chuck has recently left the former employer of his after many years, and is now, I'm going to say, the general manager of Delta Media. And as it turns out, reading the newspaper, I learned that Miss Janet Richard Wood is retiring after, I think, about 30 years in banking, and she was affiliated with 1 or 2 banks that when I first started doing business in Lafayette, following the local guys, Dwayne Richard and Byron Bro, following them into the Lafayette market. I had the opportunity to meet Janet, and of course she was hard-working, not only as a very successful banker, I might add, but also very dedicated to the community. So I'm sure that what's going to happen now when she retires is she's just going to do a lot more community volunteering work.
Very good.
Chuck, nice meeting you. Janet, good luck to you during your retirement years.
Today, the 10th, on Thursday, if you go by your local Raising Cane's in Opelousas from 3:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., they'll donate 15% of their sales to help Port Barre High School. So if you go by and you say, this is to help Port Barre High School, they'll mark off the receipt. Make sure to get 15% of your purchase to help Port Barre. So go by Raising Cane's, 3:30 to 8:30 today.
Last week, during our 3-minute break, and of course, we tape this program on Wednesday, so we take a little more than 3 minutes between sessions. We realign, and I had learned about the death of Mr. John Boanny Jr., age 87, and wrote down a lot of notes, and here they are. Whatever happened, we didn't get to it until right after I realized it. So since then, of course, it's been, the obituary has been in the Daily World, and I might add the Daily Advertiser had it also. Mr. Boanny was very well known in the area, and especially in his profession as a professional engineer. And he taught me drafting at T.H. Harris. We used to take an afternoon class